Hello, everybody. I am so glad you're here. Melissa, thanks for being here with us today. This is so
Thank you,
incredible.
Matt.
Oh, you are so welcome.
Yeah, I'm
Man,
excited to do this.
I know yesterday
Uh,
was a powerful day. Now, is there
mhm.
anything you want to say about yesterday in your presentation and what you went through during the challenge?
um, just that I hope you leaned into the exercise that we did together because literally people ask me all the time, what is the first step to help, to really help myself recover? And literally, that's the first one, to really open your heart and your mind to the
Mm,
possibility that you can
yeah.
be well. Yeah.
Mm. I love how you said that. Open your mind and heart to the possibility. Because I think with our possibility lies the entire unlocking of our recovery process, whether we believe we can or not. And that's what I want to talk about today.
Exactly. Love it.
So, as we think about recovery, recovery is as much what we do in the body as it does within our mind.
Yes.
So, what I want to talk about today. So, as we take this step, so today's intention that we're leading towards today is I want to empower you to take your first step towards recovery,
Mm,
or at least another step. So if you're like, yeah, man, I've been on this journey, I've done it a bunch of times, I've taken all these steps. But sometimes we can stop ourselves from taking and leading ourselves to these
mm,
powerful steps to recovery. And so this is where I'm encouraging you at this point. I'm inviting you to take these steps. Also with this, today I'm going to talk about the importance of mindset when recovering. Also, we're going to touch into your identity today, who you believe
mm.
you are. And then I'm going to share with you a recipe of creation because we are all creators. We are creating our reality with every thought, with every feeling, and every emotion, whether we're aware of it or not. We
Yeah.
are creators. And I don't mean to say this in a way that may have you, oh, you mean I created this? Look at this. Everything I'm going to talk about today, I want you to look at it through a lens of compassion
Hmm.
and love for yourself. Maybe something that, and I know for myself, I didn't always do it that way. I didn't
Yeah.
always look at these, the lessons, the fall downs, where I looked at everything as a mistake and I didn't try to take the lesson from it. I would beat myself
Yeah.
up. So
Hmm.
when we do that, we are going to become aware because the first step out is to become aware of how
Hmm.
we might be thinking and feeling. And then I'm going to invite you to look at these thoughts as a teacher,
Mm.
powerful teacher that they all are. So I want to thank you
I
guys
love
all for
that.
being here. This is going to be just an amazing journey for the next 25 minutes. We're going to be talking about this. So let's take a step. So I have some
Mm.
questions that I'm going to ask you as we walk down this path.
Hmm.
And I have a
So,
question. Yeah, go ahead, Melissa.
a quick question, Matt. Would it be helpful for everybody listening if they had like a pad of paper and a pen,
Yes,
or open their notes file on their phone or something so that they can write down the answers to these questions for themselves?
I'm so glad you said that. Yes, it would. If you have a journal in front of you,
Okay.
I would invite you to pull out your journal right now, and I'm going to have you write some things.
Love it.
So I really want to ask you this first powerful question. Who would you be when you recover from
Mm.
your autoimmune condition?
Oof.
Who would you be?
Mm.
Now think about that. I'm going to say that word again. Be. Who would you be? First time I did this exercise, I wrote down everything that I would do. Oh, I would run again. I would ride my bike. I would hike where I wanted to hike. I would go hike the Camino in Spain. Like all these things of what I would do,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't in who I was being.
Mm.
And explore this today. Why being is powerful. So if you want to add to your answer, who would you be when you recover from your autoimmune condition. And one thing that is, we're leading that on this aspect of who we would be in this space. And if you're kind of thinking in your mind, wait a second, what does he mean by be? I don't really, we're going to get there. So let's talk a little bit more. We're going to peel this layer of this onion away. So I want to ask you a question, and this is where I want to invite you guys to type in chat, either one of these three or your own. So the question I'm going to ask you, and I'd like you to put this in chat. So as you're speaking in chat, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to monitor chat for a minute, is how critical do you believe mindset is when healing?
Ooh, I love that question.
Extremely. Mary, I love that. Jessica, yes, extremely. Phyllis, absolutely. Thank you. Yes. 1. Philip, 1. Yes. 1. Heather, 2. Extremely. Do you guys notice? I'm seeing this pop up over and over. Extremely, 1, over, all that kind of stuff. You guys all know how extremely important mindset is, because who we believe becomes our reality. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more. So yes, it is extremely important, because who we think we are becomes us. If we believe we are loved, we are going to emit love outwardly. So really, our mindset and our belief crafts our reality. So let's talk about how this works. And I want to talk about it in the aspect of identity, mindset, behavior, actions, and results. Because who we think we are, like we just talked about, becomes our reality. So how does this happen? So let's think about an identity. If I think I am a good father, I have 2 children, and if I believe that I am a good father with my identity, my mindset when I wake up in the morning, the first thought I have when I wake up in the morning is, man, you know what? My kids can they're teenagers. I love them so much, but they can kind of be a pain in the butt. But man, you know what? I'm a good dad, and I'm going to do the best I can today in raising them. Then what'll happen is I go downstairs, and everybody's in the kitchen, and they're getting ready to go to school, and the chaos of getting kids to school and all that stuff is happening. And my behavior is one of possibility. That even if my daughter spills the milk, well, let's not say milk, let's say juice, because milk is not good for us. So let's say juice on that side. She spills the juice, because I'm a good dad and I identify as a good dad. And my mindset when I woke up this morning is I'm a good dad. I offer her compassion. Oh, you know what? That sucks. I'll help you out. I'll clean it up. Get off school. I'll make sure that this all gets taken care of. I don't scream and yell and berate her for spilling the juice. So then my behavior turns into my actions. And let's say in that moment, because I'm like, you know what? I've spilled the juice many times. Let's say there's a plate of donuts sitting on the table. And I'm looking at those donuts and I'm like, no, you know what? I know I'm a good dad and I want to make sure I'm here for a long time. So I'm not going to eat that donut. I'm going to make myself a bowl of fruit this morning. And at the end of the day, I feel good about myself. So let me paint a different picture. Let's say I'm going to use it on a context of multiple sclerosis. Because if you guys don't know my story, which if you sign up for the masterclass, you're going to get to know my story a little bit more. I was diagnosed with primary progressive multiple sclerosis 5 years ago. And prior to that, I was showing symptoms for 5 years prior to being diagnosed. So for the last 10 years, I've been in that space. So I'm going to use this in a space of multiple sclerosis. So let's say my identity is I have multiple sclerosis.
Mm.
And I believe that and I feel that. Then I wake up in the morning and I go to put my feet on the ground and my feet are numb and I have a hard time standing up.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, God, man, multiple sclerosis sucks. Like, I really, and let's say my mindset is one of beating myself up. Man, today's going to be a bad day. This sucks. And so now my identity of what I told myself is now showing up in my mindset with my first thought in the morning. And then I walk downstairs, same scenario, same situation. My kids are getting the busy, the chaos happening when they're getting ready for school in the morning. And then my daughter spills the juice. And I look at her and I'm already having a hard time. And I was like, damn it, Alex, like, can you watch what you're doing? Can you? And I approach her with anger. Then, because I'm just not feeling good about it, I'm like, man, I got to clean up all their messes. They've left the house in chaos, and they leave the house, and I see the plate of donuts. And I look at them, and I'm like, you know what? It's not going to make a difference. And I reach over, and I eat a donut. And I don't just eat one, Melissa.
I was going to say, who eats one?
Who eats one? I have like 3 of them. And I actually finished the plate. I'm joking now. So I eat all the donuts that are left, and I eat all those donuts. That's my action that I'm taking. So then my results at the end of the day is I'm throwing a symptom. My walking gets worse. And my identity is reinforced because of the result that I am being. So you can see these 2 different scenarios very powerful inside of your life. This is why your identity, who you believe you are, plays an extremely critical role on our path of recovery. Because if I believe I can recover and my mindset is this is possible, then I can put myself in that space. So let's take this another step further. Let's peel this onion a little bit more. So your identity. So I'm going to ask you to pull out your journal again. We're going to journal a little bit more.
Oof, I love these questions.
Your identity or your I am. So they're one in the same. I wrote that specifically that way. Your identity or your I am, however you view it. I am this. I have this. What do you identify yourself as? And I want to ask you, who do you believe you are when you are alone? Because when we get with somebody else, we can put a mask on, or we can pretend to be somebody else and try to almost fool ourselves. But I'll tell you this, Melissa, you can't BS yourself. You can try as hard as you want, but you cannot BS yourself.
Yeah.
You cannot BS your identity. So that's why I asked that question that way. What do you tell yourself when you are alone?
Yeah, that's deep. So can I make a comment?
Yeah.
One of the things that was so huge for me when I was really, really sick was on some level, I felt like because I wasn't enough and I wasn't able to be the wife and mom and all the things that I wanted to be and do, and, I couldn't work at the time. The things that I told myself in the times when I was by myself were probably more, I don't know, they were hard. Like I would never speak to another individual in that way.
Yeah.
So how deeply this can affect us.
And you made up a really good point. We're actually nicer to strangers than we are to ourselves. And when you think of your thoughts, 93% of your thoughts every day is run by your subconscious mind. You are unaware of your thoughts. They just happen. So like when you are alone, your thoughts get on a cascading reel of what you had told yourself in the past. And then that leaves 7% of our thoughts that can actually come from our prefrontal cortex or our conscious mind. And 80% of those are negative. So we are reinforcing the subconscious mind with our conscious mind and negative thoughts. And so it comes into this category of how many of your thoughts are not your friend. Like if we are supposed to love ourselves fully from within, how many of your thoughts every day are not your friend? How many of your thoughts push you away from the love that you are? And as we know, when we start beating ourselves up, we're making it harder to love ourselves. And we take another step down this rabbit trail to not feeling good, to making recovery farther away from us. So let's unpeel this onion a little bit farther. And why is your I am critical? What you believe you are, Melissa, who we are, who we all are in this statement, who we believe we are, is an aspect of a recipe I want to share with you. Be, do, have. Before we can recover, we have to be recovered in our thoughts, in our identity, in our feelings, in our emotions, in everything, every aspect of your being. So, Melissa, when you recovered, how important was it to be recovered?
I will tell you the truth. It took me a long time before I could even think about what it would be like to be recovered because I was so afraid that it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And so this, just talking through this slide is so, my gosh, I wish I would have had this knowledge when I was recovering. I had no idea how powerful the mind was in this process.
Because like what we learned with the identity, mindset, behavior, action, results, your identity is who you are being.
Yeah.
And it's the emotions you are putting out.
Yeah.
So if we're beating ourselves up and we're living in negative thought, then we are being in a specific way. We're being that negative thought in a specific way. And you are not alone, Melissa. In this thought, like when somebody asked me this, when I first started my journey of recovery, somebody asked me who are you being? And I was like, and I would come up with everything negative. I was like, well, I'm being sick, or I'm being like, I can't walk really well, or I'm being this. And I would almost answer it smittenly with frustration. And so what happens is in this journey is we flip this recipe.
Yep.
And this is how it is for many of us. And we'll use the words, when I have this, I will be happy. When I recover, when I can walk again, when I no longer have a symptom, when I have my family is happy, when love is in my life, I will be happy. But what if recovery cannot happen until you are being it? That is your mindset, your thoughts, your behavior, your actions, will lead to your results. So this is why mindset is such a critical piece in our healing. And we had all mentioned it earlier. How important is mindset on your recovery process? And why it's important? It's extremely important. But that mindset begins with being. Being in that moment of who we are. Because then, if I'm being a specific way, then I'm looking at the lessons from any area where a symptom may arise or a step in that journey. Okay, what am I thinking? What is going on in my life? Where is there stress inside of my life? Because stress, as we know, leads to dis-ease. So thinking about that word, even splitting apart that word, I did it intentionally. Dis-ease is an imbalance in the body. So are we leading in a journey of I will be better when I have this? When this shows up in my life? And where I want to encourage you is to flip that recipe around and think about, like the question I asked you earlier, who would you be? And I ask that because that's why this is so important, because when I'm being a specific way, I'm acting a specific way. My mindset is a specific way, even if I'm throwing a symptom or not in my journey. And I begin to craft my reality based on who I am being, not on what I have. So as we finish up today, just like yesterday, I want to take you through an exercise. So when we do this, I'm going to invite you to get quiet and get comfortable wherever you are at, whether you are laying in a bed, whether your hips are in your chair, whether you're sitting on the floor, no matter where you are right now. Now, I want you to be safe if you're driving a car. Do not close your eyes. So, on this side, I'm going to invite you to get quiet. Get quiet in this space. Feel this space that you are in. Feel this moment of now. I want you to be aware of any sound you may hear around you. Take a big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. I want you to be aware of what the temperature is around you. Are you cold or are you warm? Do you feel safe? Do you feel comfortable in that space? Then I'm going to invite you to gently close your eyes, feeling the space that you are in. Then I'm going to invite you to take a big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, expelling all the air out of your stomach and your lungs. Taking another deep breath in through your nose. And when you get to the top, sip in a little bit more. Fill your belly and then blow out. And then filling the air inside of your lungs again. Big deep breath in through your nose. Biggest breath you have taken all day. A little bit more. Just a little bit more. And then blow out. So as you are sitting and thinking in this moment, I want you to think about the first thought you had when you woke up this morning. Being honest with yourself with that thought. Breathing in And breathing out, thinking of that moment when you first saw the light enter your eyes. What was your first thought? And as you ended your day yesterday, what was the last thought you had when you went to bed? As you were falling off to sleep, what was the last thought you had? As you think of these thoughts, I would like to invite you to think of these thoughts as a teacher, as making you aware of what you may be thinking, of what emotion you are putting out there. And as you think of these thoughts, what do you feel right now? Where do you feel this inside your body? You feel it in your head, down your arms and in your hands. Do you feel it in your heart, the top of your stomach, or at the bottom of your stomach? Where do you feel these thoughts inside of your body? As you're thinking about where you are feeling these thoughts inside of your body, I'm going to invite you to bring compassion to those thoughts. Any thought you have had, whether good or bad, negative or positive, bring that thought compassion. And in your next breath, say to yourself, I am love. With your next breath, I'm going to invite you to say, I am safe. As we finish up, we're going to take one more deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. And I'm going to invite you for the rest of your day today to bring compassion to your world and continue to breathe deeply, allowing the next breath to be a little bit deeper than the one before. So we're going to enter back into this space, this moment of now, by wiggling our toes, our fingers into the palms of our hands, rubbing the tops of our legs, feeling this present moment. And I'm going to invite you to gently open your eyes again into this space, letting the light back in. So I want to thank you all for being with me today. So by using this information that you learned today, I want to invite you to open your heart into the possibility of recovery, because it is possible. So tomorrow we have the pleasure of having Melissa Rose with us tomorrow. So Melissa, do you want to say a little bit about what you want to talk about tomorrow, or what you're going to be talking about tomorrow?
Yep. So first of all, thank you. Oh my goodness. I worked so hard on this mindset piece for myself, but that last exercise that you did with us, what was your last thought before you went to bed and your first thought when you got up? I was like, okay, that is not what I want my last thought and my first thought to be. And then to really lean into that with compassion. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank
You
you
are
for
so
this.
welcome. You are so very welcome.
So tomorrow we're going to be digging into a little bit more into the functional medicine side of what it looks like to really uncover the drivers of our disease process, right? And so we'll really be looking at like disease progression and how that can start, because at the end of the session tomorrow, we're going to be doing some serious work around identifying what some of those drivers could be, because believe it or not, most of us know what most of them are if we stop long enough and look and know what we're looking for. So it's going to be pretty fun tomorrow. I think it's fun anyway.
That's awesome. I'm so looking forward to all this. This is the step through this journey. So, and also I want to ask everybody, did you receive the email sent last night? And did you sign up for the masterclass on Friday? If you like what you're hearing now, just wait till you get to spend 90 minutes with Melissa and I. We're going to go deep dive down this rabbit hole, and we are going to bring all of this together on Friday. So definitely, I hope you all can join us for that powerful masterclass. And also, we have a surprise coming up for you in the masterclass. We have a gift we're giving away. So, but you have to be in the masterclass to receive it. And you'll have to take a step during the masterclass to get access to this beautiful prize that we are giving away. So with this, I want to end with this statement. You are not broken.
No.
And your body has the ability to recover. Melissa and I are both examples of this in our own lives. That when we were told, I was told I had 6 months from a wheelchair 5 years ago. I was told there was no way I could ever recover from what the diagnosis that they had given me. But my belief and the steps I took and walking down this beautiful road like Melissa leads us towards, and the mindset work that we do is a step out, is a step towards recovery. So I want to thank you guys all for being here. It's been such a pleasure to teach with you or to be with you in all of this beautiful space that we are in. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So Facebook user, I see I need a link. You will get it in the email. If you did not see your email, check your spam folder, because email does that so wonderfully. So definitely with that space. And so you can also go to Melissa's website, sagebrushwellness.com, or you can also come into identityofhealth.com, send us a message, and we will get you that link. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you everyone for being here. It's so fun to be in these classes with you guys. And I hope you've mined some really amazing stuff for yourself. That's why we're here.
So beautifully said. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Love you all. See you.